Okay, so the last lesson we talked about the circumference of a circle. Okay, so now we're going to talk about using circumference in real life situations or application, meaning applying it to the real world. And the way we practice that and do that in math is through word problems. Okay, so how to be successful with word problems. Okay, so the first thing we should do is identify what the question is asking. Sometimes we have to read it more than once to figure out what we truly need to do. Step 2, draw a picture to help you visualize what the question is about. So sometimes they just give us words, but the problem is easier to fix if we draw pictures. Okay, write down the formulas we need to use. Okay, then substitute in values we know based off our formulas and solve. Okay, so when we're talking about word problems, words that mean find circumference. Okay, so words that mean to find circumference. Okay, these words are very important. Around, border, perimeter, outside, surround, fencing, enclose, edge, and crust. Okay, these are words that mean to find the circumference. Crust, edge, enclose, fencing, surround, outside, perimeter, border, around. Okay, so the best way to learn how to do these type of problems are to practice. So example 1, it says an architect is making a plan for a new circular playground. The playground has a diameter of 64 meters. How much fencing is needed to surround the playground? So the thing it tells me is the playground is going to be circular. So then it asks me how much fencing is needed to surround the playground. So if I want to use my highlighter, it's asking me how much fencing is needed to surround the playground. Well, if I look up here in my words that mean circumference, surround is the word that is in this problem, letting me know that I need circumference. Okay, what else did it tell me? It told me the diameter was 64. And then it told me that it was circular, meaning that's my shape. So step 1 says figure out what the question is asking. That's what we did. Now we need to draw a picture to help us visualize it. So if I draw a circle, okay, this is the center. It says the diameter, D, is equal to 64 meters. Okay, so the diameter is the whole thing across. So I know I'm looking for the circumference. So my formula is circumference is equal to pi times D, or I can say circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Well, in this case, because the problem talks about the diameter, I want to use this formula. Okay, so C is equal to pi, which we know is standard in the formula, and it tells me my diameter is 64. So my circumference is 64 pi meters in terms of pi, or if I multiply it out, which will be 64 times 3.14. If I use my calculator, 64 times 3.14 is equal to 200.96 meters is my circumference. So my answer is 64 pi meters in terms of pi, where I leave pi in the answer, or if I multiply it out, it's 200.96 meters for this problem. Okay. So example 2, it says the circumference of a circle is 21.98 meters. What is the approximate length of the radius? Okay? So this problem, we have to do different. So what does it tell me? It tells me what the circumference is. Circumference is 21.98. What does it want me to do? It wants me to find the radius. So that's what I'm focused on. It wants me to find the radius. So if I draw a circle, okay, and it tells me I want to find the radius, this is what I don't know. Okay? But I do know that circumference is the perimeter of a circle, or the amount of rope it takes to make the circle. So that means it's 21.98 according to my problem. So the outside, the rope that takes it to get around the circle, is 21.98. Okay? So if I look back at my formula for circumference, I have 2. Remember, circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, or I can say circumference is equal to 2 pi r. Well, which one do I use? I use this one because it has r, which stands for radius, okay? I'm trying to find the radius, so I want to use the one with the r in it. Okay, so now that I have this formula, I need to plug in what I know. So it told me that the circumference is 21.98. So instead of writing C, I'm going to write 21.98 is equal to 2 times pi times r. Well, Miss Aguilera, why did you put that 21.98 there? I put it there because the problem told me what the circumference was. The circumference of a circle is, that's telling me what it is. So instead of writing C, because I know what it is, I can go ahead and plug it in. Then the rest of my formula is equal to 2 times pi times r. Well, I can't plug in the radius because that's what I'm trying to find. I do not know it. So the easy way to finish this problem is, well, now I need to get r by itself. How do I do that? The operation here is multiplication. 2 times pi times r. Well, the first thing I can do, the easiest thing, is divide everything by 2. When I divide everything by 2, it cancels the 2's out on this side. Okay? So if I look at my calculator, 21.98 divided by 2 gives me 10.99. Okay, 10.99. So now I have 10.99 is equal to pi times r. The 2 goes away because 2 divided by 2 is 2. These 2 don't go away, so I bring them down. 21.98 divided by 2 is equal to 10.99. Well, am I finished? No, because I still have pi in the problem. And I need to find the radius, which is just r. Well, since this is being multiplied, the opposite is division. What do I divide by? I divide by pi, because that's what I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, so if I divide by pi on both sides, and we know that pi is equal to 3.14. If I do my calculator, 10.99 divided by 3.14 gives me 3.5. It gives me 3.5. So I can say 3.5 is equal to the radius. 3.5. So it is 3.5 meters, because in my problem it says meters. Right here it says meters. So the radius of this problem is 3.5 meters. Okay. So now it says Jennifer painted a tabletop. Example 3, Jennifer painted a tabletop that is shaped like a circle. The circumference of the table is 6 pi feet. A, what is the diameter? B, what is the radius? Okay, so again, it tells me I have a circle. Okay. And then it tells me the circumference is 6 pi feet. So that's the part that's on the outside again. Okay, so it wants to know the diameter and it wants to know the radius. So I don't know anything that's going on the inside of the circle. So let's use my formulas. Circumference is equal to pi times d. Or I can use circumference is equal to 2 times pi times r. Okay, so let's use the diameter equation first because it's asking what is the diameter. Okay, so I want to use this equation. So this is for part A. So circumference is equal to pi times d. Well, in my problem, it told me that the circumference was 6 pi. So instead of writing C again, I can say 6 pi is equal to pi times d. Okay. And like our last problem, I'm trying to find the diameter, which is here. I don't know it. That's what I'm looking for. So to get rid of the pi and get the d by itself, I know it's being multiplied, so the opposite is division. So if I divide both sides by pi, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. It cancels out. That's saying anything times anything is 1. Divided by anything is 1. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 100 divided by 100 is 1. Same thing. Pi divided by pi is going to give me 1. Pi divided by pi is going to give me 1. So on this side I have 6 is equal to 6 times 1 is 6. And then I have d left. Okay. D times 1 is d. So in this case, my diameter is equal to 6 feet. Okay, according to my problem, it said it in feet. Okay, so my diameter is at 6 feet. So part A is answered. It says, what is the diameter? It is 6 feet. Well, part B is real easy. Okay, so I know the diameter here is 6 feet. Well, if you know anything about a circle, we know radius is half of the diameter. The radius is half of the diameter. Okay, so if it's half, half is 3 feet, half is 3 feet. Okay, so r is equal to 3. So we can say the radius, which is r, is equal to 3 feet. Okay. If I wanted to write a formula, we can say the radius is equal to 1/2 times the diameter. Okay, the radius is equal to 1/2 times the diameter. Half of 6 is 3. If I divide 6 into 2 equal groups, I get 3. So my diameter in this problem is 6 and my radius is 3. Okay, and our last example. Example 4, it says the diagram below shows the radius of a circular opening of a drinking cup. Okay, so this is the circular opening. And this one I don't really have to draw anything because it's already here. It tells me my radius, because it's halfway through the circle, is 4. It says what is the circumference of the opening in centimeters. Okay, so if I'm talking about circumference, I know I can have C is equal to pi times D as my formula, or I can have C is equal to 2 times pi times R. Okay, well, because this one has a radius, which is R, I want to use this formula. Okay, So C for circumference. This problem doesn't say anything about having the circumference, so I'm trying to find it. I have everything else that I need, okay? So then it says 2, which is automatically in the problem because of the equation and the formula, times pi times the radius. Well, in this case, the radius is 4. Okay? So C is equal to 2 times pi times 4. So C, 2 times 4 is 8. Then I have pi. So I can say the circumference is 8 pi centimeters. So this is my answer in terms of pi. Or I can multiply it out and get circumference is equal to 8 times 3.14 and get 25.12. 25.12 centimeters. Okay? So in terms of pi, it's 8 pi centimeters or 25.12 centimeters. Okay? So make sure you have your notes for today.